And so we've reached Shrek the Third, a movie that I'm sure nobody on this planet thinks is their favorite Shrek movie, except for one person. My girlfriend, Lindsay, this is her favorite. So let's dig into this, because this came out 3 years after Shrek 2, which is honestly one of the best comedies ever, in my personal opinion. So Shrek, once again masterfully and hilariously voiced by Michael Myers, learns that he will have to rule the land of Far, Far Away. That's because his father-in-law, King Harold, who, spoiler alert from Shrek 2, has turned into a frog, and the king falls ill and he suddenly croaks.
Well, somebody better be dying.
I'm dying.
And Shrek has to rule the land unless he can find a suitable heir to the throne. Thankfully, there is one pretty promising candidate, and that's Princess Fiona's teenage cousin Artie, voiced by Justin Timberlake. Artie is your basic high school outcast, but there's a lot of heart to this character. So Shrek and his companions Donkey and Puss, of course, set out to bring Artie back, but they find their mission is a bigger challenge than they expected, because Prince Charming is back as the villain, and he's turned into this recluse theater actor who puts on really bad plays. And he wants to get revenge on Shrek because of what he did to his mother in the previous movie. Now, I actually really respect that they linked it directly to Shrek 2. I understand the complaint that a lot of people might have wanted a different villain other than Prince Charming for this, but it makes sense here. And I do think Rupert Everett is once again very funny in this. And gosh, I didn't even mention this part. Fiona is pregnant, and Shrek basically has to come to grips with the idea of being a father. And he doesn't think that he can be a father. And that brings me to my biggest issue overall with Shrek the Third. This movie runs 90 minutes long, and there is so much jam-packed in this. There is so much going on. So to that end, I feel like this movie can feel a tad bit unfocused at times. Because yeah, 1 minute you're cutting to the main journey of Shrek and his friends trying to bring Artie back to Far, Far Away. And then another minute you're cutting to a subplot with the princesses being held captive by Charming. And then you cut to another subplot about Shrek basically coming to grips with fatherhood. And the idea of fatherhood and him being scared of it. But despite all that, with how much there is going on, and that is Shrek the Third's biggest detriment, there's still a lot of fun to be had. I found myself, surprisingly enough, I was laughing a lot at this on the rewatch. Like, the jokes in here are far too many to count. Like, I actually love how King Arthur comes across Merlin in this. Merlin is voiced by Eric Idle, and he gets so much fun material in this. And I also love the side effect of him transporting all of our heroes to Far, Far Away in a quick manner. One of the big side effects is Donkey and Puss in Boots switch bodies. So you have Eddie Murphy voicing Antonio Banderas' design for a time, and Antonio Banderas is voicing the Eddie Murphy character. That's a really fun gimmick, and I think both actors were definitely up for that task. I love that the princesses become badass in their own right, Cinderella throwing a glass slipper like it's a boomerang, and then Snow White, of course, singing the immigrant song. Like, who doesn't love that? But you know what honestly my favorite moment of this female empowerment storyline is? Not just Fiona storming the castle while she's pregnant. That makes her so freaking badass. But honestly, it's one of the little moments that I'm sure nobody remembers, and it involves Queen Lillian. Check it out. Like, I can't help but picture Mary Poppins needing to headbutt somebody. Like, she's practically perfect in every way. Like, what could she possibly need to headbutt somebody over? And of course, as a massive theater geek, I do plays all the time. I do musicals all the time. It's just really funny to see the villain becoming this really sad community theater performer. Not to say that there's anything sad about community theater, obviously, because it is so much freaking fun, and it's so rewarding in real life. But this is Prince Charming, and he's stooping to a whole new low. And his big musical presentation at the end of the movie is actually disguised as an execution for Shrek, once he captures Shrek, of course. And the fact that Shrek gets to ad-lib all this dialogue while he's being held captive, I find it really funny. You know, on another thought, could you kill me and then sing? Not only does this follow great in the footsteps of establishing some really nice comedic moments, but Shrek 3 has no qualms about being super surreal. Case in point, Shrek's dream sequence involving his children, and the massive influx of ogre babies that come in and terrorize him. Like, that movie scared the crap out of me when I was 10 years old. The only thing that scared the crap out of me even more was this.
Donkey! Donkey! Wake up!
Da-da!
Yeah, Shrek. Same here. Da-da! So even though this movie, because there is so much going on and because it can feel a bit unfocused at times, that's why this isn't my personal favorite. But on a rewatch, I totally get why Lindsay loves this one the most. Because I still think it retains everything that made Shrek so endearing in the first place, was because it was so funny when it first came out in 2001. And I think it retains a lot of that dark humor that we've all grown to love about these movies. And it retains a lot of great character moments throughout, while introducing you to some new endearing characters. Like I said, Merlin is very funny in this. Justin Timberlake as Artie. Again, this kid is an outcast, but he's got so much heart to him. And that brings me to something that I think I may enjoy the most out of Shrek 3, is its overall message. Like, Artie was bullied. You shouldn't let your bullies tell you or dictate what your life is gonna be like. Especially when I went to middle school and I was bullied all the time. Yeah, I went back and rewatched Shrek 3. I needed that reaffirmation. So yeah, this movie might not be my favorite in terms of structure, but I still have a lot of fun with this one. This is a rewatch that really surprised me. I enjoyed Shrek 3 a lot more than I was expecting to. So with that said, I'm going to give Shrek the Third a B. That is a solid recommend B as well. But those are just my opinions. Let me know what you think of Shrek 3 down in the comments. Do you think this is the weakest out of the Shrek movies? What is your overall favorite joke that come from these movies? Who's your favorite character out of the Shrek movies? I love discussing all new things in movies and entertainment here on the regular. I'm in the process of putting together a bunch of great retro playlists for you guys in the build-up to blockbusters and celebrating certain anniversaries. In addition to talking all new things in the cinematic world. So if you want to keep up to date with me, do consider subscribing today. Tap on that thumbs up as well if you enjoyed what you saw. And stay tuned for more videos hitting this channel very soon. I'm looking forward to giving you my thoughts on Shrek Forever After, which I have rewatched. And I've got some thoughts on it. I'll just leave it at that for right now. But guys, thank you so much again. Y'all are the best. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.